Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in with me and making the choice to sit down and connect to the universe, to your innermost being, to your body. It's a really beautiful choice to make when we can make it, because we take the clarity and the stillness that we obtain from being mindful, from tuning into ourselves, and we share that with the rest of the world. So whatever energy we're in, we bring to other people and to everywhere that we go in the world. So every time we can sit and tune into ourselves and connect to the source that is greater than us, it's time well spent, and it's actually balancing and raising the collective consciousness of everyone. So awesome that you made that choice today. Here is a short yoga practice, yoga full body session that we can do to warm up our muscles, to work through any kinks, and to balance our hormones, to relax our mind, and leave us feeling really good. Okay, so make sure that you have a pillow here and a couple of blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, then just grab a couple more pillows. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'd like for us to get started in a child's pose today. Okay, so we're going to come to a child's pose, to a balasana pose, bringing the big toes to touch, letting the knees be wide enough for the belly, as wide as you'd like to take the knees is great. And then just go ahead and drop the hips back towards the heels, walk the arms forward, letting the heart melt down onto the mat, and relax the forehead down onto the mat. So it might be that we need a block to rest our head on. So if your head and neck is uncomfortable here, if the floor is a little too far away, then grab a block, grab a pillow, because I want your neck to be rested and relaxed. It might also be that we could be too tight in our hip flexors, in our quadriceps, to come down this low, to bring our belly this close to our thighs. So if that's the case, again, grab a pillow and then just place it underneath your booty, between your booty and your heels. Okay, so you're leaning back a little bit. It's like you're situated upwards a little bit higher with that pillow there. And then we're just going to surrender into this pose, relax and breathe. And let's take about 4 or 5 breaths here. Just coming into your child's pose and noticing how we're feeling in the body today. Noticing how our child's pose feels in our body today. And we're just going to surrender to what's there. So let's take a full breath in through the nose. Open up your mouth, exhale the breath out. And again, inhale deeply, fill your lungs, expand your lungs. Open the mouth and sigh out. Emptying the lungs. One more time, deep, full inhale, stretch your lungs, stretch your rib cage. And then exhale all the air out, surrender, let go, yield. Let your body yield to the ground, yield to gravity. And we're going to continue to breathe here with those big, full, mindful breaths, just for a few more moments. Really allowing your attention to be with where you're feeling the stretch happen in your body today. So notice in this child's pose, where do you feel it the most? And then just breathe into that area and allow that sensation, that feeling, that stretch to just be as it is. Breathe with it.
All right. Let's take a final breath here together, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Wonderful. Let's take an inhale, and you're just going to walk your way upwards to kneel on your shins for our Virasana. Exhale out as you arrive with your tall spine. So, seated here, this can be a lot again for the quadriceps. So if this position isn't comfortable for you, if you can't stay here for a couple of minutes, then come down to an easy seat. And you can still be situated upright on your meditation pillow. In your easy seat, you can also place a couple of cushions underneath your knees. Easy seat means easy seat, so please make it as easy as you possibly can, which means using props. Props are your friend. So yoga is not performance-based. Yoga is not like doing gymnastics. Yoga is the opposite of a performance-based modality. It is all about non-judgment, self-acceptance, meeting yourself where you are, and having no expectations on yourself. So with all of that in mind, here we are. We're in our easy seat, whether you're kneeling on your shins or in your Sukhasana. Let's go ahead and relax the hands down they can be on the knees, face up or face down, or one hand could be on top of the other at your lap with the thumbs touching. So do what feels best for you. And let's just close down the eyes here. Relax your shoulders. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Now make sure that your spine is nice and long and that the crown of your head is elevated right over your tailbone. So we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back. We're nice and straight and long with our spine. And a visualization, visualizing from the crown of the head, just bringing your attention to the crown of the head. Let's take a breath in. And as you exhale, allow your attention to travel down the back of your head. Exhaling out, feeling your attention travel down your neck, the cervical spine. Continuing to breathe as you allow your attention to travel down your upper spine, in between your shoulder blades, going down, finding your middle spine. The spine at the bottom of the ribs, the low spine, the lumbar spine, and then finally your sacrum, your sacral spine. And let's take a breath into the hips, feeling the glutes, the hips grounded against the earth. Let's take a full breath in there and a long breath out. Good. And when you're ready, you can bring your eyes open, bringing the room back into focus. And let's go ahead and remove if you have any blocks underneath the knees. And we're just going to extend the legs out in front. Let the knees be a little bit bent. You can bring your hands out to the side with your fingertips tented. And we're just gonna start to bounce and shake into the legs. I'm a big fan of these shaking or vibrating type movements because they release energy that gets trapped in the tissues, in the muscles. The emotions within the psyche, within the body, keep bouncing your legs. The emotions can get stuck and stored in certain parts of our body. And oftentimes, if we are very stiff or inflexible in a certain part of our body, it means that we have old energy and old emotions that are stuck in there. And it's okay, it happens to everybody. But these vibration, these bouncing kind of techniques really, really, really help to dislodge anything that's ready to go. Okay, so bounce, bounce, bounce into your legs. Let's take another breath in. Exhale out and find stillness, relax. Let's lean your weight back into your hands. So you can drop your weight back into your shoulders. If your shoulders rise up a little bit, that's okay. Let your feet flop apart, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and feel what you feel. Noticing heat or tingling sensations in the legs or the soles of the feet. Wonderful. Okay, let's take an inhale. You can come back up. And as you exhale, we're going to come right back into that comfortable seat once again. If you need your blocks, your props to elevate your knees, grab them. And we're just going to take a seated twist. So we'll inhale, we'll reach our hands up to the sky, lifting the gaze. And as you exhale, you'll twist the arms open to the right. So your right hand is going to come back behind you, and your left hand is going to meet your right knee. Make sure the tops of your shoulders are relaxed down your back. You're twisting from your center. And we're not twisting back too far. You're not forcing your twist back. You're just gently twisting in a way that is mindful and feels nourishing for your spine. Let's take 3 breaths. Breathing in, exhaling out. Breathing in, exhaling out. And breathing in, exhaling out. Beautiful. Let's inhale and untwist. Reach the arms back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, twist to the left. Right hand meets left knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Spine stays tall. The crown of your head is still situated directly above your tailbone. We're just twisting gently from our middle. Relax shoulders, relax jaw, soft face. Inhale. And breathing in. Exhaling out. Last time. Exhaling out. Wonderful. Inhale to unravel, reaching the arms back up to the sky, and exhale, relaxing your hands down. Okay, so let's bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring your hands back behind you, and we're going to take some windshield wiper knees. A nice twist for your low back, your low spine. Find your breath. Okay, let's come forward and we'll make our way to a tabletop pose. So you can get your props out of the way. If you have sensitive knees, then you can fold your yoga mat for some extra cushion. You can also get a literal cushion to put underneath your knees if they're a little bit sensitive here, depending on what kind of flooring you have going on in your house or wherever you are. Finding your tabletop, spread the fingers nice and wide. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're just going to shift your hips off to the left. So like you're swinging your tail to the left, and then we're going to go down like child's pose. And we'll circle around to the right. Now your tail is over to the right. We're going forward and exhaling down. So we're just taking big circles, just big hip circles. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Let's take 2 more going this direction with your breath. Exhaling out. And again. Okay, when your hips are back, we're gonna reverse it. Okay, so inhale, going up the opposite way, and exhaling around back. Inhaling up, exhaling around back. 2 more. Last one. Exhaling back. Good. And we'll inhale, we'll come back up to our tabletop pose. We're done with the knee cushion. You don't need it anymore. And from your tabletop pose, you're just gonna walk your knees backwards. Walk your knees backwards. Hands are still underneath your shoulders. So engage your front ribs. Push your hands, your arms into the ground. Strong arms. And this is a modified plank pose. Draw your navel back to your spine. The arms are super strong. The neck is long, so we're not scrunching the neck up. The head's not dropped either. We're looking forward just a bit. We're only here for 1 more breath. Keep your core engaged. Great job. Breathe in. And as you exhale out, do your best. Bend your elbows and lower down to the mat. Going as slow as you can. Good. And we'll inhale with the hands into the mat, spreading the fingers. Let's inhale, arch the spine, open up your chest, open up your shoulders, and lift your chin just a tad for a baby cobra pose. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to send it back to child's pose. All the way back with the hips, the spine is lengthening now, the forehead is coming to the mat, or the forehead is coming to a block. We're going to hang out here for 3 rounds of breath, breathing in, exhaling out. Breathing in and out. Good, last time. Wonderful. So let's inhale, we'll lift your forehead and your chest away from the mat. Keeping our child's pose legs. As you exhale, we'll walk the arms over to the left. Walking the arms over to the left. So we're getting a good stretch down your right side body. Maybe we're stacking our right hand on top of our left hand, and then we're just relaxing, softening, letting the chest and forehead come down towards the arms or the floor. Breathe into your right side body, your right rib cage and oblique for 2 more rounds. Wonderful. Let's inhale, lift your chest, your forehead up. As you exhale, we're just going to walk it right on over to the other side, walking the arms over to the right, stacking your left hand on top of your right hand this time. Left hand on top of right and softening down. Feeling your left side stretching open beautifully. Getting a nice stretch between the ribs. Let's stay here for another breath. Good. Take an inhale, elevate, lift your head, your heart. As you exhale, walk it back to center. Inhale, let's come back up onto our hands and knees for a tabletop pose where we're just going to tuck our toes underneath. We'll lift the knees and then we'll do a combination of walking the feet forward, walking the hands back, and with a very deep kneed stance, we'll come into a forward fold, a ragdoll pose. So we're just in a forward fold, okay? So if you're not with me, no worries. Let's just get together. You can bring your feet underneath your hips. Your knees are softly bent. And we're just letting the whole torso round and fold forward, letting
letting your arms be relaxed. Letting the crown of your head drop down towards the ground. So I see this all the time in my students is they keep their head up a little bit here. So why are you keeping your head up? Relax your head down. Their head doesn't need to be involved in this at all. Let the crown of your head relax down towards the mat. Take one more breath for me here. Wonderful. And then inhale, and we're slowly going to roll up the spine. Inhaling, slowly, slowly, slowly rolling up the spine, stacking the vertebra. And exhaling when you need to, coming up to stand fully and completely. Finding our Tadasana pose from here, with the feet still underneath the hips, all 10 toes pointed forward. Let's bring one hand to your belly, the other hand to your heart, softening your shoulders down, grounded in your legs, strong, sturdy in your legs, and lifting the crown of your head ever so softly up towards the sky. Let's take a breath in. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. And one more time like that. Okay, wonderful. Blinking the eyes open. Let's go ahead and take a Surya Namaskar or a Vinyasa, depending on the lineage, the school of yoga that you're coming from. We'll inhale, we'll reach the arms out and up, looking up. As you exhale, take a forward bend, softening your knees as much as you need to. As you inhale, you'll find a half lift. So extend your legs long so your knees are no longer bent. Bring your fingertips to your shins and find a nice flat spine like a table. Okay, so if I was to lie a broomstick down your back, it would touch the back of your head, it would touch your middle back, your lumbar spine, and your booty. So you're one flat plane here in this pose. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees once again, plant the hands down on the mat, and step your feet all the way back to plank. Don't worry. Come down onto the knees and untuck the toes. Here we are once again in that modified version of plank, where you're letting your pubic bone drop, you're hugging your front ribs in, your core is engaged and strong. Let's inhale here together. Exhale, bend your elbows and keeping them hugged into your ribs, lower all the way down. Inhale, send your shoulders back, arch the spine, find a cobra pose. And as you exhale, press it back for child's pose. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Good. Take an inhale and we'll come back up to our tabletop pose. Exhale your breath out as you tuck your toes. Inhale to lift your knees. And as you exhale, you can step the feet forward to a forward fold, or you can walk your feet forward a bit and then your hands back a bit, whatever you need to do to make this feel safe and graceful for you. Basically, we're just right back here at our ragdoll, our uttanasana forward fold. So softening the knees a bit, letting the spine round, letting the crown of the head drop down. And here, if you want, you can bring your fingers to grip the big toes, only if that is in easy ability for you. Let's take one more breath here. Okay, let go of the toes. Soften into your knees a little bit more. Walk the hands forward, bringing your elbows or your shoulders so that they're above your hands. And then we'll step our feet back once again to that high plank type of pose. Okay, come on to the side edges of your feet And then bend your right knee and just plant your right knee down onto the mat. All right, so my left foot is back behind me and my left toes are turning out to the left. My right knee is down on the ground underneath my right hip, and my right shin and my right toes, it's like a kickstand, they're going out to the left. Okay, now really gently and carefully, I'm going to engage my core, get really strong in my bottom leg, which is my right leg. And I'm going to inhale, I'm just going to send my weight over onto my right side completely, and I'll send my left hand to my hip. And then here, I'll open up my chest, I'll stack my shoulders. And if it feels good, you might want to reach your left arm up to the sky. So we are in a modified side plank pose, a modified Vashisthasana here. Your right arm is so strong, I know that it is. Let's take one more breath. Good, and breathe in here. Exhale and relax your left hand down. Pop up the left toes. Okay, so coming out of this now, your left foot, your back foot, you're just gonna pivot so that your heel is lifted, your toes are down. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to just step your right foot back to meet your left. Don't worry, we won't be here long. Roll over onto the outside edges of the left outside edges of the feet. Okay, and you can just bring your left knee down, same pose, other side. Bending the left knee, sending the left knee down underneath the hip, and then swinging your left shin out like a kickstand. So your toes are out to the side now. Okay, your right sole of your foot will come down to the mat. And then you'll inhale your right hand to your right hip, opening up your chest, opening up your hips. And once you feel good and strong, maybe we can reach the right arm up to the sky. Modified side plank, breathe in, exhale out. One more breath. Good, exhale, relax. Drop the right hand down, swing the left shin back in. Bring your right knee back down to the mat. Bring the big toes to touch, the knees wide, and drop it back for our final child's pose. Letting your heart melt down, letting the forehead drop down. And we'll be here about 4 breaths. So find those breaths, feel your body, feel your heart rate, notice what has changed and shifted in this yoga practice. And then maybe here, if we want to twirl the wrists around, we can in your child's pose. Twirling the wrists one direction and the other. Okay. We'll take a breath in. And as you're ready, you can lift up. From here, we're going to make our way down onto our back. Coming all the way down onto the spine. And I'd like to spend a little bit of time with our external rotators, the outside muscles of your hips and your glute, your piriformis, and your glute med will all be really having a benefit from the following movements here. So if you're tight in your hips, the outsides of your hips especially, this one is a really good one for you. So the knees are bent, soles of the feet flat on the mat. Let's take a breath in, and you'll cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then just kind of let your right knee open up to the side. Now, some of us are going to already feel this. So I'd like for you to get acquainted with the level of sensation that you feel in the stretch in your body. So it might be that you're feeling a lot of stretch here on a scale of 1 to 5. If you're feeling anything more than like a 2.5, then I want you to stay right here. and just breathe. Okay? Now, if you're here and you're not feeling much, you want to feel a little bit more, then you would inhale and send your left knee in towards your heart. Okay, so suddenly our right shin has become a lot closer to our chest. And then we would wrap our right arm through that hole in the legs, okay, underneath your shin, and lace the fingers along the left shin. Okay, so we're just threading the needle. Good. So we'll relax the shoulder blades down into the earth. And then whether your left foot is lifted or not, we're just going to begin to send the legs side to side. So just kind of shift left and right, and close the eyes and breathe here and go as slowly as you'd like. So chances are you're gonna find some tense spots, and that's all good. Just breathe with it. Stay here a little longer. Okay, finding stillness when you're ready to. One more full breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Good, and with that exhale, you can just drop the lifted foot if it is lifted, and then we'll untangle the legs wherever you are. So both soles of the feet are situated back down on the mat. And then we'll just go for the other side, okay? So we'll lift the left ankle, cross it over the right knee, and remember, this side is a whole new side. So we might be feeling different things happening on either side, and that's actually a really, really good sign. If you can feel that, if you can notice that, that's a good sign. So don't have any expectation on yourself. Wherever you are in your flexibility is absolutely perfect, and there's so much room to grow. So give yourself the space to just be where you are. And then we'll decide if we want to stay here with our right foot down, or if we want to breathe in and thread the needle. So that left hand weaving through that space in the legs, lacing the fingers along the right shin. Pulling it in, hugging the shins inwards. And we'll really feel this outside of your hip area just full of sensation. And we'll breathe into that sensation. So just feeling whatever you feel and then breathing right along with it. And perhaps we let the knees, the legs sway left to right now. Really gentle little sways here. Take another breath here. Okay, wonderful. Finding stillness. Squeeze the shins in for one more full breath, breathing in. And exhale, drop the sole of the right foot down. If it's lifted, untangle the legs. Both feet are flat down on the mat. Knees are bent. Take a breath in. And exhale out. Okay, moving forward. So from here, you're going to bring your arms, lift your feet up off the ground. Let there be some space between your knees, and send your arms in between your knees. Hold on to your ankles. Now bring the soles of the feet and the heels together, and kind of let your knees splay open up wide, bringing the soles of your feet inwards towards your groin, letting everything just be opened up here. So this is our garland pose, really beautiful for our inner thigh muscles. Make sure that you're not cranking your neck, right? Make sure that the neck feels long, so you're bringing your chin towards your chest just a tad Take a breath in. Exhale out. Okay, so if this one feels a little bit awkward, or if this one feels especially tight, then it probably is a sign that it's a good pose for us. We'll take one more breath. Wonderful. And gently bring the knees back together. You can send the hands back out to the ground, bring the soles of the feet back down onto the ground. Okay. So we're going to set up for our final pose now, which is a little heart opener. It's a little bridge pose. Okay, so these are really, really healthy, really good to do for your spine, good to do for your hip flexors and your glutes. So your knees are still bent, the soles of your feet are flat down on the ground. And I'd like for you to walk the heels inwards enough so that you can feel your heels with your fingertips. You can feel your heels. The knees are wide, so, well, not outwardly wide, but there's some space between your knees, so your knees are in line with your hips. And when you're ready, you'll take a breath in and you'll squeeze your booty to lift your hips up towards the sky. Squeezing, lifting, and sending your weight into your upper shoulders. Now, don't look around, okay? So keep your neck straight. Don't look around, just listen to me. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, gently, slowly lower your glutes back down to the mat. And then unclench your glutes. And we're going to do that pose one more time, and maybe we'll hold it a little bit longer this time. So when you're ready, you'll ground your weight into the soles of your feet. Lift your hips up towards the sky, feeling your weight going back into your upper neck area. Squeezing the glutes. Now, if it feels like it would be easy, then maybe we shimmy the shoulders underneath and we hold onto the hands. Maybe we lace the fingers, lace the hands underneath us, but only if it isn't much of a strain or a strain at all. Okay, only if it would be easy. We're here for one more breath. Okay, let go of the hands if you've got them, and exhale, slowly release the hips back down. Really good. Relax your hips. Let everything settle back down onto the earth. Take a breath in. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. All right, take a couple of windshield wiper knees, left and right. And you did awesome. Let's extend our legs long and find a Shavasana, our final rest. Shavasana is many people's favorite poses in yoga. We're just laying here doing absolutely nothing at all. Okay, so you're letting the effects of your practice integrate into your body. That is the purpose of our Shavasana, to just relax. Let the body absorb all of the goodness that we just did. Let all of the energy that we released harmonize. We take Shavasana to allow our nervous system to rest and relax. So there's all sorts of wonderful benefits that are happening here. And you don't even have to do anything at all for it. Okay, so just allow yourself to relax and feel good. And let this be super comfortable, okay? So if you're hot, then open up the legs more, open up the arms more, take up as much space as you want. Your palms can be face up, which signals that you're receptive. Or if you want, sometimes I like to bring my hands to touch my body. One hand on belly, one hand on heart. Anything that feels good for you here. Let your feet flop apart, okay? So there's no weight anywhere in the body. There's no clinging or rigid muscles anywhere in the body. You're letting everything just be super loose and relaxed. I invite you to close down your eyes. Let's take a full breath in. Open the mouth, take a long breath out. And we'll rest here just for a few moments. Easy breathing, natural breathing. letting go. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. Feeling those points of contact, the body rest against the mat. Please feel free to stay here longer if you're not ready yet. So just for the sake of the video, this is a little bit of a shorter Shavasana than I would do in a class. So always let your Shavasana be at least 5 minutes. And if you're ready to come out, then we'll come out now. Finding little movements here in the fingers and the toes, waking up, maybe reaching the arms up and taking a morning stretch. Stretching out nice and long. As you exhale, you can bend the knees and wrap the arms around your knees, curling up into a small ball. We'll roll over onto one side and make our way up to an easy seat. So coming up to your Sukhasana, to that easy seat. And take a moment to just gather yourself, take your time in your movements. And when you've arrived, just close down the eyes so that we can maintain this meditative state from our Shavasana. And we'll just take a few natural, easy breaths here. And by natural, I mean you're not controlling the breath. Just let the body breathe the way that it wants. And we'll take a moment to notice how we're feeling, what has shifted now versus when we first started the class. Notice how you feel differently now that you've completed your yoga practice as opposed to before. That beautiful change that we've made. We'll bring our hands to our heart in thanks, in gratitude for our ability to transition, shift our energy, balance our body and our mind. All of the things that our yoga practice allows us to do. Feeling so thankful that we completed our yoga practice, our yoga sadhana today. We showed up for ourselves, we did the work, great job. A feeling of gratefulness, thankfulness in our heart. I appreciate you joining me here. We'll bow our heads and say namaste.